Good morning. Okay, all set, ready to go. Okay, let's dive right into it. Why is mine? Okay, there we go. Hey, hi, 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 hi. I'm having a double effect here. Hold on. There we go. All right. Morning, loud and clear. Thank you, Nanette. Yeah. Well, you will find a time I'm trying to adjust with this new equipment, and because just in case something happens to this one, has to be ready to switch over. Yeah. Okay. Getting to know our fan a little more, we'll focus on the clarity of opening up the fan and kind of like how you might see me cradle the fan a lot too, yeah, and how this is coming into play. Okay, so again, um, let's kind of understanding the opening. First, the fan opens one way, and then you might see this. So I know I mentioned it before. So say like the fan opens, and usually you see from one side to the other side, or dropping from here down to this way. If I open, you can open the fan in the middle. So what I mean is, this is here, and the fan can drop at the same time like this. So it's a nice flower effect, yeah. So if I flower, then it opens at the same time. You're not always going like this or like that, yeah. Okay. So again, the main thing is your thumb and how the fingers are. So if I go like this and I want to drop in the middle, like boom, okay. So you're letting that gravity take over, okay. When the gravity takes over, same thing how we just do this, like it drops, okay. But we have it in the middle, and you want to drop it both ways, okay. There's a few ways of doing it. One is just understanding, just to let it start to open just a little, and then you can drop. At the beginning, you can also push. Okay, that can be used this way too. Yeah. So again, it's not about the making the not loud noise or anything. Just see that push. Okay. So the push is when it's gonna shoot forward. Otherwise, when it's up and when it's dropping. Okay. So that makes it twice as fast because it's dropping both ways instead of one. Okay. This is good, right? Only one way, or boom. Okay. The other way is the thumb sort of holding, pushing. This is still downward though. The middle is both ways, yeah. Boom. Okay. You wanna see me do it a lot more when I'm turning too. Okay. So if I turn, and you can have the flower open. Okay. See how open? And this is coming back to the creating the cradle. Yeah. So I'm creating the fan. When it's against the arm, it's like a support. So the fan is not gonna move because it's against your arm. So that's supporting the fan here, yeah. So it can make the fan come, it's embracing the fan to come more stronger to you. Okay. And it can be like to hold the your fan in place. So this can be soft. And when you come in here, see it locks, kind of locks in. Okay, it's not locked in it. It cannot move again in the other way, but it's there. Okay, and that's how that coats in. Okay, so back to the flower, opening. So first, just open. Okay, open. Okay, let's see if there's a difference. Just open. Boom. Boom. Okay. I want to turn. See the wrist? Now I turn at the same time. Boom. Okay. Keep in mind not too close to your face, and then just boom. Okay. Boom. So again, it's just the wrist coming in. So if I put my fan just like this, and I bring it in, I'm doing this, yeah. Okay. But now you're doing it together. Okay. That's how you're getting that effect. Okay. So it can look fancy, but the thing is you're trying to move your fan faster. Okay. Might come out fancy, but it's just trying to be efficient at the same time of just like, yeah. So, but again, it's gonna look fancy, and then keep that in mind for many even different forms or styles. Sometimes a technique might look fancy because of the way it's practiced, and even this, right? It's gonna look fancy. Of course, it's gonna look like that because we're doing it over and over, and we're trying to get used to the flow. Okay, and the thing is, when something happens, it just might be one or two, but since you get used to the flow, we can adjust real quick, and then it starts to add, and it can evolve and change. So it's the constant flow. So the more I get used to it, and the more you get used to your fan, the easier it's gonna get in the momentum of flowing faster and quicker and smoother. Okay. So if anybody tries to look fancy, you don't have to say anything. Just, oh yeah. Okay. But you know you're practicing and you're flowing. That's what's the big difference. Okay. So coming back to the flower, opening and turning, yeah. Boom. So this turns and drop and drop. Okay. Then you can create a right in there. Boom. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter what side, if the frame's in or out. Okay. The thumb is the one that's gonna capture the end of the frame. Because the family just flying like, okay, I got it, and you're not gonna tell them wait. I have to have it in a certain way. Okay, I'm ready. And you just grab it and you just flow. So now we got this turn. Okay, and this is us getting quicker to opening the fan and closing the fan too, right? I'll just mention the flower. Okay. So this is the gravity way, right? When I use gravity, it just drops. So you have the nice fan just dropping down. Okay, got it. Good. Okay, and then we turn, and that's how we get the inside cradle. Okay, so that's the gravity way. And then as I explained earlier with the push, okay, so if I opening and then I help it faster and it pushes, see that? Because the intention's here, boom, shoots up, yeah. Okay. Now the shooting is what makes it go forward now. Boom, 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 okay. So again, the intention's in that middle. Okay, it's different from shooting with the side, right? Ba, ba, ba. Okay. And the beginning of our longer form, yeah. We come out, we open, and our first open is the drop, right? So the gravity is going down. See, boom, boom. Okay. At the beginning, when we're doing a form, you're just dropping, yeah. As you go more into it, then the intention of pushing forward changes the way it opens because you might come in like this, yeah. Boom. So the difference of opening the fan and then fan starts to go over, yeah. Boom. Okay. So becomes the framework of that kind of jab it in. Okay. And so it depends on the type of fan. This one's a lighter because the only the ends are solid and the middle is more soft, kind of like this soft aluminum. So it's going to bend, yeah. This one is not going to solid, yeah, more solid. Before all the metal fans was all hard as the outside, and all the inside was just as the same. So it was really different when you go in with the frame. Okay, it's all like it's all solid. Yeah. Okay. So again, if you get the metal fan and you're like, oh, they're cost a lot less, is because of the middle part, which is fine because it's perfect for. It's a lot lighter, so you can get into it. At the beginning, and if you just found this the class, the the lighter is good to start off with, okay, because it can be heavy. And keep in mind, uh, all the stretching I was showing with this comes in play. I might not do it every single time with the class because I want to get into the newer techniques or showing everything. But don't don't forget this too, yeah. Okay. And this is really helpful for everything because I work on with my hands a lot too, yeah. And this is how you can prevent a lot of things, yeah. So using the fan and start it's you're training and you're building up the wrist too. So it can really make a difference practicing a movement, even with the fan in the hand or not in the hand, yeah. And I find so anytime it becomes a new movement that you're not used to moving that way, that's where if the weight is in the hand can throw off the way you move. So doing these circles or trying to get all these angles to get used to movement, yeah. That's why usually when people get hurt is because they for some maybe they drop something and then you somehow you stretch in a way that you normally don't stretch to get that item and yeah. So when we're doing a Tai Chi form or just practicing our drills, where the fan lets us move and turn. Okay. So at the beginning, our movements might be like just soft, open, turn, move. Okay. Even us rolling in, okay, opening the fan. As I get more into it and I get soft, I can really start to turn the waist. Okay. See the waist turning? So it can be small, medium, and then big. So all this can be practiced in many different ways. Okay. I will start showing you more stretching and different chikuns too, because of the have to be you're going to be more aware of the situation, especially if you're in places that you can't even really get outside, right? And one thing about a form, it does its thing, but sometimes we need to pinpoint the area. And our waist is a very important area for Tai Chi because it really turns. And we want to stretch that area out a lot more, not just for the physical part. A lot of the emotions can get locked into the body. And I'm sure you already know certain times if you're standing or you're sitting for a long time and your back feel funny or sore. And sometimes you're so used to doing that that it doesn't even matter if you're strong or anything. But that pressure and stress can build up on the shoulder and especially the lower back. So emotion stress is all okay. And it can affect the what you're doing as the fan and the form. Okay. So what you can do for now, since we're focusing on the opening technique, so we just drop flower or flower opening and the turning. Okay. So you can start to open. You can inhale, boom, okay, and we can turn. With the turning, get used to this first. So inhale, okay. Hopefully I made it clear about closing too, yeah. Okay. So closing in. Yeah. So you can turn and close. The key is that the push tool, right? Or the wrist pulling in. Okay. You ever seen those the fast videos, the flower, and then the sun when the flower come back in, right? So your flower going open, the flower closes. Boom. Okay. So it's like it comes in and it retracts in. Okay. So boom, boom. Okay. So it's a lot different from me going like that. So I guess if you had that fast forward or the slow motion, you can count down by second, like one or one, yeah, because it should be half the speed, right, to close, and then a full second to close or half second because of the inward. Same thing with the out, right? Out or out, out or out. Okay. It's real subtle, but it's quick. Yeah. Okay. So you can bring it in. You can open and then stretch. Bring it and stretch it. Okay. And then bring it out. Boom. And really turn. See that? Okay. This is just different options and different ways that you can practice with your fan as you stretch. Yeah. So inhale. Okay. So again, we're just trying to use this so we can get ourselves to stretch more. Yeah. Okay. And feel the movement. Okay. This is no right or wrong. I'm just trying to get the movement. Okay. And this can be done all before you go into your form. Yeah. This will lead into more different ways of stretching and turning, So when I show you guys different forms, you can really come in, yeah. Okay. So this is the presenting the fan. Okay. Now you got your out, and then you can really bring it in. See this? So in, and then let's bring it up over in. So this side is like, okay. And what you can do, you can sit down, and that when you sit down, it's gonna hold your body, and it's gonna lock in the, I guess the hip part, yeah. So you won't turn the leg too soon. The reason for that at the beginning, because when we turn, we can really get the foundation or the pivot point here first, and then you can start to move. But we want to make sure we start from here. If we go too soon, then I might turn and I might not turn with the waist, and then I'm turning my body like that. Okay, trying to exaggerate the movement. Okay, instead of me turning the waist and then everything follows as it turns. Okay, so that's the whole thing with this here. See that? Okay. You can stretch it back. Open. Yeah, we're doing a downward stretch. And take your time. You don't have to go fast. Open, stretch. Okay. And then your last one. So we do a nice 5 or 10, depending how much time you have. The last one, bring it in, hold it, and just breathe. Breathe. Okay. About three breaths, deep breaths. 2. Okay. Last one. Okay. Close it. Breathe. The last one, hold 3 seconds, or I mean 3 breaths. Second breath. Last breath. And bring it forward. Okay. All the waist is like turning like this. So yeah, the idea and the feeling is like you kind of wringing out all that bad emotion or the tension is wringing it out. Like, yeah. All this is where a lot of the intestines, the kidneys, everything is like in this area, the belt. So it's very important to twist and turn. Get the stuff out there, bring it out. Okay. These can lead to very nice forms, especially when I start showing you with the circle um, movements. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot into these turnings. All this can really add to your the turn in. Yeah, and you can really feel this motion because a lot of this will come in. So let's start to get into the flow and turning so we can move up to these other moving drills. Okay. The form I showed you is um, the long form is very universal. So it made me easier to just share it when I was doing my Tai Chi class. The butterfly form is a short, it's a short drills that expands and um, it grows because it's quicker to learn. So that was the 10 steps that I showed. And it grows in the butterfly. You start seeing a butterfly as it has its partner. Yeah. So if you're with somebody right now and you practice with somebody, then it's gonna come in. It's gonna be a lot easier to practice, and it becomes fun because it links up, and that's where the butterfly starts to the name comes out. Yeah. Okay. So key thing, opening the fan from the middle. Boom. The turning. Boom. Okay. And then our stretching. Oh, wait, one more. The shoot forward. So the forward is the push. Still in the middle, but push. This is where you can get the different angles. Yeah. Okay. This is different from the circle because of the intention of the end poking. Yeah. See the difference? Because it's the end and then the shoot forward. Okay. And then our stretching, the presenting the fan, turn. Okay. And just take your time. Even if you do this, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Just every time after you're done, so select you do 5, then you can move to 10, and then 15 and 20. The last one, hold. We did 5, or you can in the beginning you can do 3, and then you can work it up to 5. Switch to the other side and hold and breathe. Okay. Then we got our open and close, which is our downward open. Okay. Okay. And then our last one, you hold it and you turn, you hold, and you bring it up and then hold. Okay. My very first Tai Chi Kung, everything we did was a lot of endurance training. And no matter what we did our sets. And the last set, we just go right into it and you hold the position and you focus on just the breathing. Okay. Even if it was something with the weights. Okay. So the funny, kind of a funny story when I was doing the master training, came the dragon student. I will start training more with him, and I'll meet him up at his. He had a kind of like a hair barber shop, hair salon. Okay, so I would before we go after his work, he's gonna do more training. So I'm in there like a half an hour earlier, and he's like, "You waiting, right?" So you training, even though he's busy cutting the person's hair and stuff, and I'm holding this pipe, kind of like 5 pounds, and I'm gonna be turning like this, and there's a rope tied to it, and the rope goes all the way down to another 5 pound, the dumbbell. So I have to take my time and hold it up in the horse stance. So it's like one of those movies. So I'm like this, turning the thing, and when I turn it, it brings the dumbbell up, then I go down, and I take my time and breathe. Okay, but every time after you finish the set, you have to hold the position. Everything we did was hold. So then that 5 pound gonna feel like 30 or 40 after. And after it goes down, I have to breathe for 39 breaths. Slow now. Inhale and exhale. And I'm over here in the shop now. I might have to mention that I'm in the shop as he's working, him and the wife doing the cutting their hair. And oh, no worry, no worry, no worry. He's doing training. I start training right now. again, student. All right. Yeah. Keep training. Anyway. Whew. Okay. Let's see, Gary. The strengthening wrists and forearms, Klein. Oh my God, yes. Um, yeah, your arms start popping out, look like Bruce Lee, because you could really see it when I really was doing so much. I'm gonna have to redo those training. And keep in mind, if you're just starting off with the weights, you just take your time, and the breathing is like that key. Okay, the breathing. If I do deep breathing, more oxygen goes to the muscles, and that makes a huge difference. I started to applying it not just to the kung fu, right? Anytime you lift up something, I just make sure I take that nice deep breath so I have oxygen running through me, and it just made a huge difference. Yeah, all the wrist, we focus on a lot of different things, but yeah, that definitely was the wrist strengthening. There is other ways, especially when we start doing the sword, or even when you use the heavier fan. Yeah, all this, see the turning comes into play. There's if you have an area where you can have the even a paddle or some kind of long stick, you can you start to train all this turning. Okay, and you can see the muscles start to roll. Okay, so in a way, the heavier the item is how you train. So all these things start to come lighter and lighter. Okay, especially like the sword or something too. Yeah, and it's resistance training that can really help. If you so happen to have no weights, but you can get to the pool or but say like you train in the ocean, or if you have a pool at home or something, okay, the water resistance will add to your form, okay, and it's a nice way to train without having the hard style of pounding and hitting if it's like iron palm or anything. So yeah, it's I found it's a nice soft way. I was getting a lot of results without me knowing, without doing the actually hard way. Yeah, because after a while that can depend how you train. Yeah. Okay. And thanks for asking the questions. It's always good because you need the feedback, and that's how you start progressing too. Yeah. If I don't know, I don't know, but you never know till you ask. Yeah. Okay. So coming up real soon, I've been talking to different teachers, and I really trying to get this variety show to come up. So it's going to be happening sooner. It's still taking some time, but let's get that out real quick. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can get different teachers sharing their knowledge and experience, and it's gonna be a thing. Just letting you know, because getting excited. Cause okay, didn't mean to distract you. You guys have a good weekend. Okay, practice what you can. And again, if you so happen to think of questions later on, just put it on top. Um, Last time Gary asked me something, I clicked it off. Okay. You can also find me on the Facebook too. Yeah. Just look up Sifu Kalani and you can ask questions on there too. Yeah. So probably easier for me to find it. But again, you can put comments down below. And the other question was trying to show the forms. I'm trying to get somebody to actually, if they can film me doing certain things, depending on the style. Yeah, I'm gonna stand out with the lightsabers out in the open, and I'm trying to find the right timing with the lighting. But okay, guys, all take care. Bring it in and center the net. Thank you, and have a great weekend too. Stay safe. Okay, you all stay safe too. And keep in mind when you practice all this, how much your energy changes. I really hope you can feel that positive energy. Okay, that positive energy goes out. So this is always good if you can practice in the morning. As it goes out, try to keep in mind how it affects you, and when you're feeling good, how it affects people around you. Yeah, and your day can be a lot smoother and easier. Okay, and keep keep this in mind too. If you didn't practice or you didn't do something that made you feel happy and good, how does the day run? Yeah, if you feel good, you practice, and you feel happy, and the day runs a lot smoother. Yeah, okay, that's very just something to keep in mind as you practice and train. Okay, thank you. From here, see you guys.